Why would someone want to sit down and have a beer with you, JD? This is the question that JD Vance was asked at an event yesterday. It's a really simple question. It's kind of alluding or hearkening back to this idea of who would you rather sit down and have a beer with, which is this kind of folk litmus test for personality and charisma and gravitas in American politics. It's a really easy question. And JD Vance answers it by saying, I drink too much. This guy is this is the worst vice presidential selection, certainly of my lifetime. Certainly of my lifetime. Let's listen to this.
Why
guy.
would people in Wisconsin want to have a beer with you?
Well, I guess they'd want to have a beer with me because I actually do like to drink beer, and I probably like to drink beer a little bit too much, but that's okay. I'm sure the media won't give me too much crap over that. But look, I mean, the reason I'm doing this, and the reason I think Donald Trump is doing this, and I think the media often slanders him, but I've never met a guy who likes normal people more than Donald Trump.
Why would someone want to sit down and have a beer with you? Well, because I like beer and I drink too much, but Trump's great. What? It is hard to think of a less charismatic person and a worse answer. You know, if I'm going to go off the top of my head. Hey, David, now that you're running for whatever, why would someone want to sit and have a beer with you? And, you know, they're in Wisconsin. Well, you know, I'm a good guy to have a beer with in general. And especially in Wisconsin, because I really value hearing from people who work in the industries represented here. It's manufacturing, it's agriculture, it's cheddar cheese or whatever. And I love learning about that stuff. And I would love to talk with Wisconsinites about their work and what they like. How almost any answer would have been better than I'm a good guy to have a beer with, I guess, because I like beer and I drink too much. But Trump gets slandered by the media. What? Did you hear the question? So the contrast, if you look at Tim Walz and JD Vance, could not be more clear. And in a way, the contrast is kind of bigger because of the generational divide. Tim Walz being about 60 and JD Vance being about 40 makes the contrast particularly more stark because one might expect in the way that Kamala Harris being 20 years younger than Trump translates to her being more energetic and didactic and erudite on the campaign trail. You might assume that the 20-year younger JD Vance relative to Tim Walz would also exhibit the same thing, but he doesn't. It's Tim Walz who has the energy. It's Tim Walz who has the ability to connect with the crowd. And it's Tim Walz who has the ability or willingness to answer a simple question. And you know who's noticing? Independent voters. Take a look at these forthcoming numbers.